I hope it's visible to all the devotees.
Yes, Prabhu.
So first we'll discuss about brief history of ISOPANISADs. So ISOPANISAD comes from the first verse. First verse of ISOPANISAD is Isa Vasyam Idam Sarvam. Isa. From Isa comes the word ISOPANISAD. It is Upanishad in which the first verse begins with Isa. As simple as that. That is the meaning of ISOPANISAD. Where does it come? ISOPANISAD is a part of Shukla Yajurveda. There are two Yajurvedas part, Krishna Yajurveda and Shukla Yajurveda. And it contains, Shukla Yajurveda contains 40 chapters. 39 chapter deals with karma, and this particular chapter number 40, of which ISOPANISAD is a part, consists of Gyan, knowledge. So because you have already read Bhagavad Gita, it will be very easy to go through ISOPANISAD. Because you understand now the difference between Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga. Not that everything is same. So this is talking about Jnana Yoga Jnana, which discusses the difference between body and soul. It has 18 mantras and it discusses a lot about Paramatma and Jiva and the goal of Jiva. So basically goal of Jiva here as discussed is more of attaining the liberation. So you know 5 types of liberations are there. Salok, Sashti, Samipya, Sarupya and Saivjya. So it discusses about all the 5 of them. That attaining these 5 liberation are goal. This is called liberation. So Saivjya is merging into the effulgence of the Lord. Sarup is getting form like the Lord. Salok is getting the planet like Lord. Then Sarshti is getting opulence like the Lord. The Lord has a palace, you also have a palace. Sarshti. And Samip is becoming a close associate of the Lord. So these all are 5 are muktis, and that mukti is considered to be the goal of Jiva. Okay. Manjunath Prabhu had the question only on mukti.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Very basic question before. So there are, as far as I understand from the lectures from the senior devotees, there are 18 Upanishads, right, Prabhuji? Why only Isha Upanishad picked up for the subject?
18 Puranas are there, 108 Upanishads.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. Yeah, the other way. You are right, Prabhuji. Agree. So why only Isha Upanishad has picked up for our subject as part of the course, Prabhuji? Any other reason?
That we will discuss gradually.
Okay. Yeah, that's the reason I just lowered my down hand. Thank you, Prabhuji.
So that we are going to discuss anyway. So how this Upanishad comes? There is a story, there is a pastime basically, not story. Pastime given in Brahman Puran. That Swambhu Manu, after ruling for one Manvantar, then he took one prastha. And he had like 3 sons, 3 daughters and 2 sons. So Akuti, Devhuti, Prasuti were the daughters. Akuti was married to Kardamuni. So Akuti was married to Richi and got Yagya as the son. Yagya is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Devhuti was married to Kardamuni and got Kapil Dev. Kapil Dev is his son, Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then Prasuti was married to Daksha and the daughter was Sati. Sati's husband is Lord Shiva. So it's a glorious family. Then Priyavrat Maharaj was a great devotee of the Lord. And then there is Uttanpad Maharaj. Uttanpad Maharaj's son is Dhruv Maharaj. But after completing the whole reign of one Manvantara, Swambhu Manu went out for tapasya. So as I told, Richi was married to Akuti. But while giving Akuti's hand to Rishi, Swambhu Manu told Rishi that whoever son is born to you, I will accept him as my adopted son. On that condition, I will give my daughter to you. And Rishi accepted. And because Swambhu Manu knew the son would be Supreme Personality of Godhead. And that is Lord Yagya, who was first Indra and his Supreme Personality of Godhead, basically. So when Swambhu Manu took Vanaprastha, after Vanaprastha, Kshatriyas are not supposed to lift weapons. So while he was doing Yagya along with his wife, that time, there were some Rakshasas who got benediction from Lord Shiva that nobody can kill them in the war. Nobody can defeat them. So they saw that Swambhu Manu is hashtag in Vanaprastha and he's in the forest. They came to eat him up. So at that time, Swambhu Manu, he called for help from Lord Yagya. Lord Yagya arrived there and then killed all the Rakshasas, although they had a benediction that they cannot be defeated in the war. Still he defeated them. He didn't care for the boon given by Lord Shiva. And then Swambhu Manu praised Yagya by these verses of ISOPANISAD. So that is the origin of these verses of ISOPANISAD. Swambhu Manu praising his grandson Yagya. Grandson and adopted son Yagya. Now suddenly Swambhu Manu spoke it, but nobody noted it down at that time. Nobody memorized them, the verses. So later on, Atharvan Rishi, he revealed those mantras in his meditation. He got a revelation, and then he spoke these mantras to his son Dadyan. So Dadyan was his pure-hearted son, Atharvan Rishi's son. And Atharvan Rishi wanted to teach him how to practice jnana and karma being a householder. Jnana and karma being a householder. So then that's why he spoke these verses of ISOPANISAD. So that's why Atharvan Rishi is called the revealer of the mantra. He is the one who revealed the mantra to the whole world. And that is how slowly it went down the line. And later on, when the divisions of the Vedas were done, that time Vyasadeva kept it in the 40th chapter of Shukla Yajurveda. So that's the brief history of ISOPANISAD. Anybody has any question now on this history only? Yes. Kalanath Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dhanvat Prabhuji. So, can you explain brief this Shukla Yajurveda and Krishna Yajurveda? What is that?
No, briefly means that these are two parts. Shukla means white and Krishna means black. So they are like two parts of Yajurveda.
In Yajurveda, it is comes like two parts kind of. In that
When
in Veda 4.
When you say Yajurveda, Yajurveda has two parts. One is Shukla Yajurveda, white, and Krishna Yajurveda is the black one.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
it.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, okay. Now we'll go further. Now we'll go into definition of Vedas. Vedas come from the word called Vid. Vid means to know, to be aware. So to know about the things, we talk about Vedas. And that is why if you see in preface, Prabhupada has talked difference between the knowledge of Vedas and other knowledge. So any knowledge which is free from four defects of which any human being commits. Somebody can tell me what are four defects?
Doing mistakes, Prabhu.
And
Not controlling the senses.
Imperfect senses.
Imperfect senses, yes.
Mm.
And two more.
Cheating.
Propensity. Cheating propensity.
Cheating
Committing
propensity.
mistakes. Committing mistakes.
Okay, committing mistakes. So basically 4 are there. First one is we have imperfect senses. Because of that, there are tendency to be illusioned. Like now we see mirage, where there is no water, it looks seems there is water. And because of this, what we do? Because imperfect senses are there, the tendency to be illusioned. That's why we commit mistakes. Now to hide the mistakes, we do cheating. So that's why these 4 are called 4 defects. So knowledge which is coming from the sense perception, direct sense perception called pratyaksh praman, which we see or hear or observe, and anuman pramani, which we speculate by our mind. That is called the knowledge which has 4 defects. We are using our senses and mind and intelligence for that. But knowledge which comes from the Vedas is called sabda praman. So that knowledge which is free from 4 defects is called Vedic knowledge. So this is the definition of Vedic knowledge. So which means to know. So any knowledge free from the 4 defects is called Vedic knowledge. Another definition of Vedas is Vedyati dharmam brahmacha vedaha. Scripture that teaches about dharma and Brahman. Dharma means one's duty in this world, and Brahman means one's the details about the spiritual world. Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan. So one which teaches that is called Vedas. That's another definition of Vedas. Now Vedas, the smallest part of Vedas is called mantra. So mantra is the smallest part of Vedas. When those mantras are recited in particular meter, which are called basically chandas, like Bhagavad Gita is written in Anushtup Chanda. Similarly, Ramayana, Valmiki Ramayana is also written in Anushtup Chandra. So when they are spoken in a particular meter, and their collection is there, like we have many mantras spoken in particular meter, so together they are called sukta. Okay, so they are called sukta. And when there are many suktas together they compose what is called samhita. So that is how there are different, you can say, collections, samhitas. So anybody had any question on this, whatever we have discussed? Okay. Fine. Now, Vedas are divided into 3 parts. They are called Prasthantraya. Prasthantraya means 3 prasthanas are there. What are they? Shruti Prasthan, Nyaya Prasthan, and Smriti Prasthan. So what is this Shruti Prasthan? Shruti Prasthan means those texts which have no author or which are eternal. So words spoken by Supreme Lord, Lord Vishnu, Lord Narayan, Krishna, they all come in the part of Shruti Prasthan. So generally Shrutis were preserved so much that people would remember them left to right and then again right to left. So that not a single word of Shruti is lost. Because in earlier days, before Vyasdev came, there was no culture of writing down things. Because people were very intelligent, they would just hear and remember. That's why they were called Shrutidhar. Shrutidhar means one who hears once and remembers. Kali Yuga, people are very much lazy, less intelligent. So that's why things have to be written down. But the unfortunate situation is that even if you write it down, you will memorize, write it down, practice it so many times, and when exam paper comes, they forget. So that is Kali Yuga memory. But earlier Shrutis, Prasthan, they were all memorized. Basically, everything was memorized. Then there are Nyaya Prasthan. So work involving logic to find the meaning of Upanishad, because Upanishad things are given in the sutras in very basic formula. So basic formulas are given. Now to derive a logic out of it, one has to analyze it. So that analysis is done through Nyaya Prasthan. But even to have logic, one has to understand what is logical and what is not logical. Because sometimes it's like, no, people in Kali Yuga are so dull that they don't understand even what is logic. Like, you can make any analogy. So one of my relatives, he was basically from a Mayavadi sect. So he was giving some sort of analogy. He was saying there is no Indra. This body is only like Indrasan. It's composed of Indriya senses. And these apsaras are like lust, envy, greed, who dance in the heart. When they dance in the heart, then this Indra is agitated and he has to engage in sense gratification. So then I told that, what is your logic? This is analogy, this is not logic. I can make any analogy. I can make an analogy that I am like a bat and you are like a ball. So I am always supposed to beat you day and night. You can't repel because you are a ball. So this is not called logic. So there are some standard logics given in the scriptures. Like Prabhupada quotes at many places. There is a Tanlogulveshchak Nyaya. Tanlogulveshchak Nyaya means sometimes people say scorpions come out of the rice. But scorpions don't come out of rice. Some eggs of the scorpion have gone along with the rice, and from that scorpions come out. So this shows that life comes from life doesn't come from matter. So this is one type of logic. And then we have a lot of Ajgal Stan Nyaya, Sakha Chandrak Nyaya. So a lot of Nyaya is there. So they all come in the category of Nyaya Prasthan. So in Vedanta Sutras, which Vyasadeva has written, is based on logic, analyzing the Upanishads through logic. So this is Nyaya Prasthan. Then there is Smriti Prasthan. Smriti means they are the realization of the great sages when they read heard Shrutis based on their experiences, various pastimes which happened. They try to write them down or explain them their own words. That is called Smriti Prasthan. Now those who are Mayavadis, follower of Shankaracharya, they say that now we don't believe in Smriti Prasthan because they are spoken by sages. They are not spoken by Supreme Lord. But then our logic is that if they were so useless, filled with 4 defects, then why would Vyasadeva write them down? Simple. Was he like a free person now who would have any time and know what to do? Just write some comic books. It's not like that. So these are not imaginary. They are realities. This knowledge also is free from 4 defects, which consist of Smriti Prasthan. So is that clear to devotees? If you have any questions, you may ask. Yes, bro.
We have Upanishads and Vedas and all. So what is the purpose of Puranas, Prabhu?
Puranas are written in a way, it's like an example. Like in your textbook, chemistry, physics, mathematics, you have your formulas. But then there are a lot of solved examples. Why are solved examples there?
To understand the formula.
Same thing. So to understand Shrutis, Smritis are given so that even people who are not like very intelligent, very intellectual can also understand what has to be done and what not has to be done. Okay, is that clear?
Yes, Prabhu. So in that case, the Puranas are like what they say, like it's not mythology, it is things which have actually have been history, like it has been.
These things have happened.
Yeah, happened.
And, yeah, and through them, through those examples, the Shrutis are explained. Make sense?
Okay, Prabhu. Okay, Prabhu. Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. As I told before, Smritis are hard and remembered, elaborated. Samhitas, there's some more, what do we say? Description of the Vedas. Samhitas, these are not the Samhitas with a collection of the verses, not that one. Not the collection of Suktas. There are Samhitas which will be explained in the next chart. Samhitas are here. Okay, maybe I can show this chart and then later on I can show this particular slide. Yeah. So as I told, these are Shrutis, they are Smritis, and Nyaya is given here. Actually, these 6, they deal with logic. But because that is given by the sages, sometimes people put Nyaya Prasthana also in Smriti only. So Shrutis consist of 4 Vedas, Rig Veda, Yajurveda, Samveda, Atharvaveda. And each of the Vedas are further divided into 4 categories: Samhitas, Brahmanas, Aranyakas, and Upanishads. Samhitas consist of mantras, Brahmanas consist of ritual explanations of mantras, Aranyakas are esoteric explanation of the mantras, and Upanishads are philosophy. So generally, Samhitas were read by brahmacharis. Brahmanas, which consist of rituals, are for grastas, because grastas help to perform a lot of rituals. Aranyakas is for vanprasthas, and Upanishads are for sannyasis. In general, but anybody can read anything. Then there are Upavedas, which are required for basic living, basically. So Dhanurveda consisting of how to fight wars. Ayurveda is how to remain healthy. So these all come in the category of Upavedas. Then there are Vedangas. Vedangas means different parts of Vedas. Like Kalpa consists of ritual, details of ritual, how to do Nyas, etc., Achman, etc. is given in Kalpa. How to pronounce different things is given in Siksha. Vyakaran is grammar, Sanskrit grammar is given. Nirukti is basically a dictionary. It's called etymology or dictionary, Nirukti. Chandas are meters in different meters, we can recite the Vedic scriptures. And then there was Jyotish Shastra, where you have astrology. So they all are part of Shrutis.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes.
So regarding Chandas, Prabhu, Chandas means it tells how to pronounce.
See, pronunciation is Siksha.
Okay.
Chandas are different meters, like Anushtup Chanda is there. So Bhagavad Gita is spoken in Anushtup Chanda. So like that, there are many Chandas are there. Meters in which the verses are spoken.
Means the pitch, you can say, like high, low, like while pronouncing the.
No, actually based on the size of Chandas, certain Chandas are Anushtup Chanda is like 1. So these details are given. Actually, I'm speaking, I'm not very expert in that.
Okay.
But I know some knowledge of Chanda is there.
Okay.
So it's basically like Bhagavatam verses, not all verses are in Anushtut Chanda. Bhagavatam. Bhagavad Gita, all verses are in Anushtut Chanda. Ramayana, all are in Anushtut Chanda. So Ramayana verses and Bhagavad Gita. Ramayana means Valmiki Ramayana. Valmiki Ramayana verses and Bhagavad Gita verses, you will see they have almost same size. One
Okay.
line has same
Okay.
size.
Okay.
Okay. So there's one.
Okay. Fine. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Then there are smritis. As I told, these are like composed by different sages, depending from age to age. So then there are ritual sutras are there, which is like basically a description of kalpas. You have kalpa. Kalpas are understood by different sages and they explain it through different examples. So this concept of Srot Sutras, Greh Sutras. Srot Sutras are big yagyas which are performed in public. Greh Sutras are the home yagyas, like home etc. would be performed in the homes. Then there are Dharma Sutras, which are law books. So Dharma Sutras are there and Dharma Shastras are there. So Manu Smriti and Manu Samhita. Manu Smriti is a part of Dharma Sutras. Manu Samhita is part of Dharma Shastras. Then there is Parasar Samhita. So they all deal with duties of different Varna and different Ashram. What women are supposed to do, what Brahman should do, what Kshatriya, what Vaisya should do, what Sudra has to do. So these all duties are given in Manu Samhita. And unfortunately, nowadays people, they burn Manu Samhita like anything, to say, no, we don't follow Manu Samhita and this and that. And the whole reason is why people do it is because they don't understand that Varna and Ashram are based on propensities. They are not based on one's parentage. So those who are really Brahmanas, they won't mind doing the austerities of Brahmana. Those who are Vaisyas won't mind doing the austerities of Vaisyas. So like that. Then there are Tantras, which are spoken by Lord Shiva to Parvati. So Sattaguna, Rajaguna, Tamaguna. Sattvic Tantras are one which are meant to heal people. Rajasic Tantras are for getting certain things in life. And Tamasic Tantras are for harming other people. So the Tantras are there. And Pancharatras, knowledge spoken by Lord Vishnu to Lord Brahma in 5 nights. It's called Pancharatras, which basically discusses about deity worship. So like Narad, Pancharatra is a part of Pancharatras. After that, there are Puranas. 18 are major, which consist of 10 topics. Lesser than 10 topics are called minor Puranas. Among 18 major Puranas also, 6 are in mode of goodness, 6 in mode of passion, 6 in mode of evil. So there are Puranas. Then there are Itihasas. Itihasas is like Ramayana. Ramayana comes in the category of Itihas. But it's like one pastime is a prominent one, the entire description. Then there are 6 darsans, which are basically, you can say, part of Nyaya Shastra, Nyaya Prasthan. Among them, completely theistic one is the Vedanta Sutras, as discussed by our Acharyas. Other 5 of them are partially theistic and partially atheistic. So in this way, atheists are also accommodated in Vedic scriptures. But then all these 5 of them are defeated by Vyasadeva and Vedanta Sutra. So atheist will slowly turn into theist if he reads Vedas. So this is how Vedic knowledge is there. So as I told before, Samhitas are to glorify the demigods by Dharma, Artha, Kama. Aranyakas is about moksha, that we have enjoyed enough now. Now let us talk about Brahman. Let us perform austerities. Now we are one prasthas. Upanishads are about philosophy, philosophical discussion. So as we told before that Mayavadi says Shrutis are more valid than Smritis, but we say Smritis are also very valid because they help you to understand Shrutis, and they are written by Vedvyasa, so they can't be wrong. There's no possibility of Smritis to be wrong. So Prabhupada, why he has written ISOPANISAD, this question came, Manjunath Prabhu asked. Why Prabhupada has given is because Prabhupada wanted to give in all three, Shruti, Smriti and Nyaya. So ISOPANISAD is a category of Shruti. And one of the reasons why Prabhupada chose ISOPANISAD is because our previous acharyas have given a lot of commentaries on ISOPANISAD, not on other Upanishads. So Prabhupada, being very faithful to Parampara, gave ISOPANISAD. Among Smritis, we have Bhagavad Gita, because Bhagavad Gita is a part of Mahabharata. Of course, Sankaracharya followers accept Smriti, means Bhagavad Gita also as a part of Shruti. Because although it is a part of Smriti Mahabharata, Sankaracharya himself has said that Sarva Upanishadu Guvavo Yogda Gopal Nandana. The Bhagavad Gita is essence of all Upanishads. So that's why it comes in the category of Smriti. And Nyaya is logic. So Vedanta Sutra is given by Vyasadeva, with end of knowledge, and it is dealing with Nyaya. And natural commentary on Vedanta Sutra is Srimad Bhagavatam. So that's how Nyaya also we have. So we have all three, Shruti, Smriti and Nyaya. Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam and ISOPANISAD. So like that we have all three. Okay. So any question on this chart? Okay, fine. Now coming to the
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Prabhu, do we need to remember or basic? We have to remember all these things, or
no. They just for for you to understand. Because main thing is when anybody asks about authenticity of ISKCON, you should have all these answers with you.
Yeah.
So this like whatever I am teaching is very, very important for establishing ISKCON as a perfect sect in terms of Vedic culture or Vedic origin. Okay. Now, talking about definition of Upanishads. Upanishad comes from the word Upanisidati. Upa means near, Nisidati means bring. So one which brings us near to Krishna or Lord and liberation is called Upanishad. Upanishad can also be divided into Upanisad. Up means near, Ni means certainly, and Sad means to loosen or destroy. So knowledge will loosen the bondage with certainty and destroys the ignorance concerning Jiva Sarupa. Who are you? Basically, one which destroys that and brings one closer to the Lord is called Upanishad. Upanishad is also called Brahma Vidya or Rahasya Vidya. But a secret knowledge. Because actually the knowledge of Upanishad is revealed by Guru to the disciple in his heart. Yasya deve para bhakti tatha deve tatha guru tasya kartayata prakasante mahatmana. One has faith in the spiritual master and the supreme Lord, then this knowledge is revealed in the heart of the disciple. Upanishad is also the head of the Vedas, as sannyasi are considered to be the head in the Varnasana body. So Upanishad is also head of Veda and it is considered to be final conclusion. And as I told, ISOPANISAD comes from the word Isavasyam word. So Is Upanishad. Clear? Any question? Okay. Now we'll discuss some overview of ISOPANISAD. So first verse of Isopanishad discusses how Vasudeva is controller of all things. 4-5 talks about Lord's greatness. 6-7 discusses how Lord resides in all human beings as soul. That means he's soul of all the souls, super soul. First half of the 8th verse shows that how Lord has no material faults. He has transcended all material faults. And second half of the 8th verse explains how all the knowledge are directed to know the Lord alone. So that's second part. Verse number 11 discusses how Lord dispenses the result of one's karma, good or bad. He withdraws the creation and he destroys everyone's sin. So that is why Lord is worthy of being meditated. And 15-16 talks about how Lord is the only means of liberation. Who else? So it's one overview given by one Acharya, another overview given by another Acharya. According to him, first verse discusses the tattva or highest truth. Verse number 1-2 discuss the major theme of the work. That means knowledge means jnana and karma have to done together. 3-8 discuss about the knowledge of the Lord and the result of that knowledge. Verse number 8 discriminates between their difference between Jiva and Lord. Both are not same, like Mayavadis think. 9-14 deals with the practice of this karma and Gyan together so that one can increase one's transcendental knowledge. And it also deals with the ultimate goal of the knowledge, that is getting liberation. And 15-18 is basically prayers, which can be used by worshippers to get liberation. So this is about overview. Now we don't have much time to do this group work. So what I'll do is because already devotees know about it. So we discovered 4 defects. 3 pramanas are there. Pratyaksh pramana, what we see, what we hear, what we taste. There is Anuman pramana, how we speculate, like Darwin's theory is about speculation. And Sabda pramana is the praman or knowledge which we get from scriptures. So Sabda pramana is free from defects, and Pratyaksh and Anuman are filled with defects. Like we have a lot of things in the Vedas which prove that how Vedas are superior authority. Somebody can give examples? How there are Vedic truths which are accepted by people even today. Modern people, they accept it.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Prabhu,
Ayurveda is there, na Prabhu. So we are all believing that.
Yeah, Ayurveda. So everybody practically is accepting Ayurveda nowadays.
And Jyotirveda.
Jyotish Shastra. It's like so popular nowadays, Jyotish Shastra.
And Bhagavad Gita, total world is.
Okay, Bhagavad Gita, some people accept, some people don't accept, but at least Ayurveda, and we have something else. Which practically everybody is using throughout the world, not just here.
Yoga, Prabhu.
Yoga.
Meditation. Yoga.
Yoga and meditation.
Yes.
Especially if you go in US, every lane has a yoga institute. Every lane. That is how yoga is so famous. So where are all these things given? Where is yoga given? Where is Ayurveda given? Where is astrology given?
Even Dhanurveda.
Now, Dhanurveda, many people accept, don't accept, but at least these things are given everywhere. It's like, then they found Sanskrit. Sanskrit is so powerful. If children recite Sanskrit, they can recite or they can understand any language of the world. That's why in many countries, in many places, Sanskrit is compulsory. Although in India, it's like, no, people, they say Sanskrit, even our devotees say Sanskrit means my God. Even I'm not very expert, but so in this way, all these things are like universally acceptable to be powerful. They all are given in Vedas. So this proves that Vedas are beyond defects. Although written billions of years ago, or written at least 500 years ago, spoken no time, still they are so much applicable. So that is how Vedic scriptures, they are considered to be free from four defects. So this proves out house of the Pramana is the highest. And Prabhupada gives example, like if you want to know about father, father ask the mother. So Vedas are considered like mother, and Supreme Lord is like father. Okay, so that's about ISOPANISAD introduction. Anything on introduction? If not, then we'll enter in invocation verse. Okay. Seems there are no questions. So, but now I want response from devotees. So some of you should open the cameras and respond. So you can repeat after me. Om Purnamada
Om Purnamada
Purnamidam
Purnamidam
Purnat Purnamudachyate
Purnat
Purnamudachyate
Purnasya Purnamadaya
Purnasya Purnamadaya
Purnam Eva Vasisyate.
Purnamavasishyate.
Please read translation.
The personality of Godhead is perfect and complete. And because he is completely perfect, all emanations from him, such as this phenomenal world, are perfectly equipped as a complete whole. Whatever is produced of the complete whole is also complete by itself. And because he is the complete whole, even though so many complete units emanate from him, he remains the complete balance. Hare Krishna.
So Om basically indicates as the Supreme Lord. So, Om Purnam Ada. Ada means that Supreme Lord is perfect and complete. Om Purnam Ada. That Supreme Lord. Ada means that one. Om Purnam Idam. Similarly, this world in itself is also complete and perfect. Then Purnat Purnam Udachyate. From that Purna, that Supreme Lord, so many complete worlds have come out. Purnat Purnam Udachyate. Udachyate means coming out. And Purnas Purnamadaya. Although so many worlds have come from the Supreme Lord, what happens is Purnam Eva Visishyate. What remains is Purna only. That means in the spiritual world or spiritual mathematics, 1 minus 1 is 1. It is not 0. Although for them Supreme Lord, so many worlds have come out, still that Supreme Lord remains. So not that no, it's like from us, your hands are removed, we will be without hand, we will be handicapped. Head is removed, we will be handicapped. But from Supreme Lord, so entire creation can come out, still he remains as he is. So that is the meaning of this particular verse. So actually this verse is not a part of ISOPANISAD. But why Prabhupada accepted it in invocation? Because Bhaktivinoda Thakur has accepted it as a part of ISOPANISAD. He writes it before writing this verse of ISOPANISAD. That's why Prabhupada following in the same parampara accepts it. That's all. So it's not a part of ISOPANISAD, but it's an invocation. Now somebody can read a purport. This purport is very powerful. Read whole purport.
The complete whole or the supreme absolute truth is the complete personality of Godhead. Realization of impersonal Brahman or of Paramatma, the supersoul is incomplete realization of the absolute complete. The supreme personality of Godhead is Satchit Ananda Vigraha. Realization of impersonal Brahman is realization of his Sat feature. His aspect of eternity and Paramatma realization is realization of his Sat and Sit features. His aspects of eternity and knowledge. But realization of the personality of Godhead is realization of all the transcendental features. Sat, Chit, and Ananda, bliss. When one realizes the Supreme Person, he realizes these aspects of the absolute truth in their completeness. Vigraha means form. Thus, the complete whole is not formless. If he were formless, or if he were less than his creation in any other way, he could not be complete. The complete whole must contain everything both within and beyond our experience. Otherwise, he cannot be complete. The complete.
Now I'll ask questions. Brahman has which feature? Which aspect was absolute truth? Huh?
Light. No form.
Impersonal.
Unmanifested, impersonal.
Among such Anand features, which feature is found in
Sat.
Brahman?
Sat.
Only Sat, eternity. Which is found in Paramatma?
Satchit.
Chit.
Satchit. What is found in Bhagavan?
Satchitana.
Satchidanand. Okay. Please continue.
The complete whole, the personality of Godhead, has immense potencies, all of which are as complete as he is. Thus, this phenomenal world is also complete in itself. The 24 elements of which this material universe is a temporary manifestation are arranged to produce everything necessary for the maintenance and substance of this universe.
So just a minute. Now this statement is there. Everything necessary for maintenance and sustenance of the universe is there. Can you give some example for that?
Not clear. The question not clear.
If you read this statement, 24 elements of which this material universe is a temporary manifestation are arranged to produce everything necessary for one's maintenance and sustenance. That means in this world, everything for one's maintenance and sustenance is there. So can you give some example for that?
Earth, water, air.
Okay, earth, water, air, fire.
Sun, moon, water, river.
Panchabhutas are their working senses. Knowledge,
Yeah.
intelligence, mind, intelligence, and
True.
3 modes of.
We are not just asking about 24 elements. We're discussing how Lord, you can say that Lord has given everything for our sustenance. Can you give some example for that?
Prabhuji, for suppose we need to maintain our body. So Bhagavan Krishna has given everything for our food stuff and everything. What are the required things? And so like that, Prabhuji, and so many things are given. Well, go.
Okay.
Different kinds of food which is made of the basic elements is given for us for our sustenance. Then with trees or wood, which is again comprised of the elements which we use for our living. Similar to that, Prabhuji?
Yeah. So that's called symbiotic factory. We take oxygen, give carbon dioxide. Trees take carbon dioxide and give oxygen. We need water, but water will be like spoiled if it is less kept in some container for a very long time. So Lord has preserved it by adding salt. But we can't drink salty water. So what he does, through sun, water is evaporated, it comes to our place in the form of clouds. You don't need any airways or railways or anything, or no water tankers. And they come and they put water comes to your place. It gets deposited in the rivers and estuaries and the ponds. As soon as child is born, the facility for food is there. Same breast of the mother which had no milk now start giving milk. So from childhood, Lord gives maintenance. We think, no, if we don't work very hard, we can't maintain ourselves. Who feeds elephants? Even kings fear to maintain elephants. But Lord is maintaining so many elephants in the forest. So in this way, Lord is providing for everything, whatever you need. Sunlight in the daytime, moonlight in the nighttime, coal is there, water is there, all facilities are there. Please continue. No other unit.
No other unit in the universe need make an extraneous effort to try to maintain the universe. The universe functions on its own time scale, which is fixed by the energy of the complete whole. And when that schedule is completed, the temporary manifestation will be annihilated by the all facilities are given to the small complete units, namely the living beings, to enable them to realize the complete whole. All forms of incompleteness are experienced due to incomplete knowledge of the complete whole.
So they like very important statement. All devotees can remember. All forms of incompleteness are experienced due to incomplete knowledge of the complete whole. What does it mean? Somebody can explain?
People doesn't have the knowledge of Supreme.
Yeah.
Because of that, we are not able to understand His creation, which is very complete. But because we have incomplete sense, we cannot understand the complete whole.
Yeah. See, what Prabhupada is indicating here is everything for a maintenance is given by the Lord. But people say God has not given this, God has not given that, we need this, we need that. Why? It's because of incomplete understanding of complete whole. You don't know how Lord is complete. As soon as you understand how everything, all facilities are given, your knowledge is complete. So Lord has given Vedas in such a way that if one follows Vedas properly, one can be happy in this world, one can be happy in the next world also. But because we don't follow Vedas, we suffer like anything. Please continue. The human form of life.
Yes, 1 second. The human form of life is a complete manifestation of the consciousness of the living being, and it's obtained after evolving through 8,400,000 species of life in the cycle of birth and death. If in this human life of full of consciousness, the living entity does not realize his completeness in relations to the complete whole, he loses the chance to realize his completeness and is again put into the evolutionary cycle by the law of material nature. Because we do not know that there is a complete arrangement in nature for our maintenance, we make efforts to utilize the resources of nature to create a so-called complete life of sense enjoyment, because of the living entity cannot enjoy the life of the senses without being devoted with the complete whole. The misleading life of senses enjoyment is illusion. The hand of the body is a complete unit only as long as it is attached to the complete body. When the hand is served from the body, severed
Severed.
from body, it may appear like a hand, but it actually has none of the potencies of the hand. Similarly, living beings are part and parcel of the complete whole, and if they are severed from the complete whole, the illusionary representation of the completeness cannot be fully satisfy them. The completeness of human life can be realized only when one engages in the service of the complete whole. All services in this world, whether social, political, communal, international, or even interplanetary, will remain incomplete until they are devoted with the complete whole. When everything is devoted with the complete whole, the attached parts and parcels are also become complete in themselves. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So when everything is dotted with complete whole, Supreme Lord, then we become complete in ourselves. That means the solution is just doubt your propensity and engage things in Lord's service. Like devotees, anyway, one needs to eat, offer it to the Supreme Lord. One has to celebrate festivals, one needs functions and festivals. We have so many festivals, Janmashtami, Gaur Purnima, and so many acharas, appearance day, disappearance day. Celebrate festivals. One has to maintain family, make a Krishna conscious family and maintain. So in this way, all things can be doubted in Supreme Lord, service of the Supreme. Then it becomes complete. So that is what Prabhupada speaks here. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, when he writes about this verse, he writes that how he translates this, that avatari Krishna is complete in itself. And as many incarnations, avatars may come out of Krishna, which are complete in themselves, still Krishna remains the same avatari. It's not that no Krishna's personality reduces. So, Om Purnamada, that Krishna is supreme, avatari is supreme. Purnam Idam, so many avatars who descend in this world are also complete. Purnat Purnamudachyate, so many avatars may come out of Krishna. Purna se Purnamada, Purnamivasisate. Still, Krishna remains complete. So that is a translation given by Bhaktivinoda. So this is invocation. And verse number 1 of ISOPANISAD will begin in the next class.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, small note. So this verse we recited is very good. In which occasion we can chant this verse, Prabhu? When we see Lord, or what time, what occasion we can chant this?
Anytime we can chant.
Anytime.
But, but generally in the auspicious times like Abhishek is going on.
Okay.
Or let us say some auspicious ceremonies are going on. So that time devotees recite this verse.
Okay, Prabhu.
Okay. Karanath Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So in this verse, particular verse, everything is complete, and everything comes from complete. So, and we discuss this incomplete senses for us, and
Imperfect.
how imperfect. So from perfect everything comes, how it is imperfect, Prabhuji. Can you explain that?
Yeah, so they are imperfect till you doubt a little with the supreme perfect. That means as soon as we accept Vedic authority and the knowledge given by Supreme Lord, then senses are not imperfect. Then perfectly they can be used in the Supreme Lord service. So all 4 defects are there in the knowledge. It doesn't dovetail with the knowledge of the Supreme Lord. When I dovetail with the knowledge of the Supreme Lord, when we accept Vedic knowledge, then it is not incomplete, it is complete. Does that answer the question?
Sorry, Prabhu, I'm not getting it.
See, very simple thing. If you disconnect with Krishna and we want to perceive knowledge, then our senses are imperfect. So there is an ascending process, there is a descending process. Ascending process means by my senses, I will try to understand things. That's called ascending process. Descending process is we get the knowledge from the Supreme Lord and we practice it and realize it to understand what is right. The difference between making the theory out of experiments and experimenting the already formulas which are there to verify whether these formulas are right or not. So Vedic knowledge is perfect and when it is given and we see things according to that knowledge, then the knowledge which we get is perfect. But when we perceive on our own without in connection with Supreme Lord, then it is imperfect. Does it answer your question now?
Yeah, Prabhu. That means when we see to the through Vedas, that is the perfect. And when we not see the through Vedas, that is the incomplete.
Yes.
That means imperfect senses.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, bro. I understand. Thank you.
Yeah. So basic thing is, if we follow the Vedic formula of living in this world, we can perfectly live. If we follow our own formula, which is not given by Supreme Lord, then it is imperfect. It's like you can never say that no, Vyaswami is perfect. No, it is perfect. If you follow the manual. If you don't follow the manual, and it's like no, rather than putting the buttons, you pluck off the buttons. And you say, oh, you are saying that no, this machine is perfect, but I'm seeing defects in that. Defect is not in machine, defect is in your knowledge. If you follow the manual properly, then there's no problem. Similarly, how to live in this world, Lord has given the formulas and Vedic scriptures. If you follow them, there is no imperfection. If you don't follow them, there is perfection. Okay.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you. I understand. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. And here, ISOPANISAD की, शिल प्रपात की, जगह पे मंदिर।